Sometimes in our business things go well, sometimes not. But right now things are going very well. The Enterprise and her crew are in the Gulf of Mexico, just inside the channel of Cat Island, close to the mainland. We're just returning from our first trip to Apalachicola on the west coast of Florida, where we learned that a load of alligator hides was awaiting shipment to St. Louis. I figure this trip to be the most profitable since I took over the old girl.
Now remember what I learned you.
Taught, pick along, Captain Holden.
Well, Captain Holden can taught you, but I'm learning you. Now say what I said.
Red light is larboard. Green light is starboard. Red light on the starboard bow.
Has got the right of way.
Yeah, has got the right of way.
Now how would you call a ship off the larboard bow at this angle?
Ahoy, wheelhouse. Light, 3 degrees off the larboard bow.
Good boy, Chip.
Evening, Mr. McGregor. You mind if I watch a while?
What are you doing up here? Why aren't you in the boiler room where you belong?
Well, Captain Holden said it'd be all right if I came up and watched. As long as I don't get in your way, sir.
Oh, he did, You ever have a wheel in your hands before?
Yes, sir, on sailing ships.
I will. Hold her steady, lad. Kind of young, aren't you, in sailing ships?
Oh, yes, sir. My father was a captain, though. He let me be his cabin boy ever since I was a little fella.
What was his name?
Same as mine, Terry Blake.
Oh, Master Blake, do you know where we are?
Yes, sir. This is the Cat Island Channel. One of the narrowest channels with some of the worst reefs in the whole Gulf. If I'm not mistaken, sir, that's the channel light.
That's too far to larboard. There's something wrong here. Mr. Carney, cut her to half speed.
It looks like there's something on that reef over there.
Looks like there's been a wreck. And pretty recent, too. Get the captain, quick!
Yes.
Cut the engines, Mr. Carney!
You all right?
I'm afraid, Jock.
We're fortunate you're alive. Hang on to the mast. You haven't anything to worry about. There's a boat out there headed right for us.
Oh, thank heaven.
When that boat picks you up, tell the captain that your dowry is aboard, and that your father will pay him to try and salvage it. We are not very far from the island, so the schooner cannot be in very deep water.
Why would I tell him that?
There's a trunk of pearls in the hold. We can claim them.
Claim them, but they're not ours.
Cherie, they belong to anyone who could get them. This is our chance. It may never happen to us again. We don't have to be poor, Cherie. I love you. And it is for us.
I love you, Jock. I'll do my best.
Now, when the boat gets closer, start swimming around. I will dive under and see if I can find the entrance to the hold.
All right, Joshua, cut her back. Hold her steady.
Here, Captain. Thanks. See anything out there, pick along?
So much junk in the water, it's hard to make out. Snapped her sticks when she hit.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Over there. Looks like someone's swimming.
Yeah, it's a girl.
Terry, give me one of those life rings, will you, in a hurry?
Come on the double, boy.
Hurry up. Secure the end of that to one of these cleats down here. Be careful, Captain. Don't get fouled up in them lines.
Two of you men get back to the galley, get the biggest iron pot you can find. Fill it full of lard and pitch pine kindling. I want some heat and light out here. Toss it down after me. Yes, sir.
Water bad? It's colder than Mother Annie's smile. Want me to come in with you? Yeah, I'd love it. Give me a little more line. All right, come on. You're all right, honey. Stop crying. All right, is there anybody else out here?
I saw Jacques, the first mate, but now he's gone.
Pull us away! All right, hold on. Here, hey. Here. Oh, my hip! Something gone wrong, Captain?
Something got loose below and got me in the hip.
Take it easy, Captain. We'll have you on board in a second.
I got her! Terry, give the captain a hand!
Yes, sir.
Get some bandages and blankets!
You all right, Captain?
No, I'm not all right. Give me a hand up here. Has your hip popped out again, Captain? No, I just like to lie down here. Come on, give me a hand and get up to my cabin, huh?
Captain, there's a man crawling on the reef.
Ahoy there! Ahoy out there! Can you hear me?
It's Jacques.
Can you swim over here?
Madame Louise, I tried to swim below for your trunk, but it was much too dark.
The blazes is he talking about?
It's my dowry. I was journeying to New Orleans to be married. I've got to have my dowry.
Well, man, you might just well forget about it. You'll never get it out of there. Can you swim over here, mate?
No! If I leave her, anyone can claim her for salvage. No, I will wait here until Madame Louise goes to New Orleans to arrange the salvage. Then I can be sure to get her dowry.
Why is this dowry so important? If you wanted to save anything, I think it'd be a ship.
The boat's insured. My father will collect for it, but without my dowry, I can't be married.
Oh, come on now, honey. A woman as beautiful as you are, what does she need with a dowry, eh?
It's a question of family pride.
Pride. Oh, yeah, sure, pride.
Captain, should I take a couple of men in a lifeboat and just drag them off the reef?
Well,
Captain, that schooner is worth a lot of money to the man who can get her up, and she's not in very deep water.
oh? Well, now, just what are you getting at?
Well, speaking for my father, you could have the schooner. We'd make no claim if I can get my trunk with my dowry in it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds very interesting.
Oh, Captain, have you slipped your mooring? We can't salvage that schooner.
Now, Connie, did I say anything about salvage?
No, but you look like...
Never mind how I look. Now then, Miss...
Louise Harrison.
Yes, Miss Harrison. I'd certainly like to help you get that boat up. We got no equipment to salvage it with.
Captain, I must have my dowry. There's $40,000 worth of pearls in that chest.
$40,000 worth of pearls?
My father will reward you if you help me get it up.
Father will reward me, huh?
Yes.
Skipper, don't get that look in your eye. You know what happens every time you get that gleam.
What's the matter with you, Connie? Don't you like money?
Well, sure, but...
But you would object to my divvying up the reward for getting this poor little girl's pearls off that shallow, sunken wreck, huh?
By divvying, you mean equal shares.
Yeah, I mean equal shares.
Carney, how are we going to get in there?
Oh, shut up, Pick-along. Haven't you got an eye to the future?
And the first thing we're going to do, Pick along, is put you out on the rock there with Jacques. Why? To keep him company, that's why. And then we're going on back to New Orleans, and we're going to get enough equipment out there to salvage that boat.
Captain.
What?
Something here you should put your eye to.
Where?
Over there in the cove. It's been there quite a while.
Uh-huh.
What is it?
It looks like a barge of some kind. Barge with a big crane on it. A very big crane. Like the kind that uses salvage.
I wonder if they had anything to do with moving that light.
Well, the channel light was moved, that's for sure. What's a big barge like that doing out here in the middle of nowhere?
The best skullduggery, eh, Captain?
Yeah. The Captain Wright of the Magellan Star told me about something just before he left for Florida. He said a lot of other boats have been cracking up on these reefs out here. Didn't mean anything to me until just now.
There's a breed of man that prey on innocent people just to be picking their poor dead bones.
Yeah. I got an idea. We'll find out what that barge is going to do, though. Yes, sir. Let's get me up to my cabin, boys.
Name's Pick-along. Guess we're going to be neighbors for a while.
Jacques Tremaine. You're welcome to sit with me.
Cow in the bag. Reckon you ought to be hungry.
Merci.
Take care of yourself, Pick-along.
Now, don't you go forgetting I'm out here. It's a long road to New Orleans.
Don't worry, we'll be nearby. Now, for heaven's sake, don't lose your temper. I'd rather you fed us than the fishes. All right, Mr. Carney, let's get out of here. I'm going to get 3 loud blasts on the whistle. I want everybody to know we're leaving. Back her down, Mr. Carney.
Well, Bolsey, my boy, they've taken their nose out of the wreck, and it looks like they're going to go into the coast. They left 2 men sitting on a rock, so I think they aim to get the proper gear to raise the schooner.
It's a shame, ain't it, Mr. Savage? Them making that trip for nothing.
All right, to your oars, you scavengers. There's a ripe peril laying out there waiting to be plucked.
We got a while yet, Mr. Jacques. While we're waiting, we might as well holler up a tune or two to keep us company. I don't give a darn about being out here. The men on the barge will get us a fear. But while we are waiting, I'll sing a song. And if you don't mind, I'll just pick along. How about that? Made it up on the spot, just like it was handwritten. Talk is cheap, like they say. Work for you, to us is play. Beat you do so simple and mild, easy to handle by a Haitian child. Just go ahead, spoil a good tune, like an old hound dog that plays at the moon. If one good old hoedown you would attend, you'd never go back to Haiti, my friend.
All right, Master Blake, that's far enough. Tell Mr. Carney to drop the hook.
Stop the engines. Drop the anchor.
Come on, Master Blake, we've got a little rowing to do. Step lively, lads. That barge is just about to the wreck. Be careful of that gun, man. If it goes off, it'll warn the pirates and it'll blow the nose off your face. Come on, cast off.
Remember what the captain said. Just go along with them.
Belay the oars. We've come to rescue you.
Yeah, you better get off them rocks.
Oh, you shouldn't have gone to all that bother. Just the same with you, we'll stay right here.
Wouldn't be fitting and decent of me to leave you 2 castaways to the mercy of the elements. What if a sudden storm should come up? Why, I'd have your 2 poor drowning faces in my dreams for a month. No, sir. Couldn't let anything like that on my conscience.
Got no cause to have nightmares, mister. Got our little old boat with us right here, just in case the wreck slips or perch.
Mr. Bolsey,
Show these two gentlemen how poorly they make a dinghy these days.
Hold your temper, Jacques. Lose it tomorrow.
You just can't put no trust in the way they make things these days. All right, you two men, swim over here to the barge, or we'll find out how poorly you're put together.
Swim? In this water?
Well, you can walk on top of it if you got a mind to, but whatever you do, you better get to doing it. You got just 2 minutes.
Let's go. So far, so good. We've timed it just about right. Slip around the back of the barge and be as quiet as possible.
Tie him up.
All right, on your feet. Get your hands behind you.
Move again and you'll die where you stand. Quit enjoying yourself, Bolsey. Tie these men up. We got work to do. Call your men off. Call them off. We surrender. Mr. Blake, get their guns and knives and throw them overboard. You got no cause to jump us like we were pirates. We was minding our own business. Fact is, we were saving the lives of them two men.
You took those men off the wreck by force. That's piracy.
That's a terrible lie, mister. Whoever said that ought to be whipped.
Maybe you'd like to try, monsieur.
Now, don't get all riled up. It's just a figure of speech. I just said we'd done no wrong. You was the one who attacked first.
And you had nothing to do with moving the channel late.
Now, what kind of beast would do a thing like that?
So that boats could wreck and you could salvage their bones.
Well, now, salvage we was gonna do. Till we saw them men on a wreck and we was all set to turn around and come back. When we saw that their dinghy was leaking and it looked like a storm was coming up, well, we just couldn't leave them there.
No, of course you couldn't. You couldn't leave them there. You'd have to kill them too. Or you wouldn't be able to salvage that cargo. Or rob the dead bodies of the men you murdered. You're the lowest form of human life. You don't deserve to live.
Cut the throat. No. You can't have that on your consciences. You don't want to carry our murders with you the rest of your life.
I say cut the throats and get it over with.
No, Piccolo. We couldn't do that. We'd be as bad as they are.
Well, why don't we just blow them out of the water with a cannon?
Cannon?
The one we have in the hole, loaded with nails and chain. That way we'll get rid of them in one blast.
Please, mister. You can't do that.
All right. I'll tell you what we will do. We'll set you and your barge adrift in the channel. And we'll leave it to Providence whether you're dashed to bits on the reef or not. Master Blake, tie them all securely.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Well, did it go according to plan?
Just like clockwork, Captain. You know, those pirates, after they float around the reef a bit, will be glad to see the authorities you send them.
All right. Then here's where we stand. We can't go back to New Orleans because it's going to take too long. And if those men should be picked up, they'll be back. So if we're going to get those pearls, we're going to have to make do with what we've got on board.
Which isn't much.
No, we don't have. We're going to have to make.
Make what?
Well, when I was in Boston, I heard about a man who invented a kind of a helmet fits over your head. It's got a tube connected to the top of it, and it goes up through the water to a man up above who pumps air down through the tube, like this, with a great big pair of bellows.
What keeps the water out?
With the air pressure. Haven't you ever turned a glass upside down in the water? That's right. Now then, who's going to be willing to take a chance on this rig?
Well, I'd like to try it, sir.
Jacques can go with him.
Well, you ever been underwater before, son?
Oh, yes, sir. In the rivers. And even out in the Gulf.
Yeah? Well, all right. You do a good job of this, and we'll talk about making you a cub pilot.
Thank you, Captain.
Sure you can do it now?
Well, yes, sir.
All right. You got the job then, Terry. Now then, Connie, when you're making this helmet, make one for the lantern, too. Only close the bottom of it. If a man can breathe underwater in these things, then a lantern ought to work. All right. Let's get to work. Come on. Joshua, listen, tell Pick along to bring me up some food, will you? I'm hungry.
Nice, sir.
Captain, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you're doing for me.
Oh, forget it, Louise. You know, gold will soften the hardest heart of any river rat.
Thank you anyway. Oh, Jacques, you scared me.
This is our only chance to be alone.
You know, Jacques, I'm afraid I'm going to do something wrong and get us into trouble. Is it really worth it?
Oh, Louise, ma chérie, listen to me. This is our only chance to ever have anything. Now that I found you, I never want to go to sea again. But for me to stay on the beach, I must have money. For our business and a house for us.
I know, but this stealing...
Oh, Cherie, this is not stealing. If we get the pearls up, it's because I have helped. And the law says I'm entitled to half of any recovered salvage. Oh, Cherie. Stop worrying. We only tell them small lies so we can have something for our lives. I don't want us to be so poor we end up hating each other.
Make it sound like we really don't love each other.
I'm a realist. Our love is noble. But the noble love must have a fertile soil to grow rich in. Or without the money from the pearls, I'd only be a mate, always going to sea. And you a serving girl, living on the fringes of the earth. Every right we have to it, if we try.
Lend a hand here!
Blubber. I never thought I'd see the day you'd get down on your knees and blubber like a girl.
You're alive, ain't you, Mr. Bolsey? You don't think for 1 minute I'm gonna sit here and let him get away with that ship, do you?
Well, you sure had me fooled.
You got the brains of a mudfish. We're gonna get that old cannon we took off the Good Hope last year. Mount it here on the barge. Then when that smart guy out there raises that wreck, we're gonna move in on him. And blast that riverboat right into the lap of heaven.
Well, why wait? Let's do it now. It'll take them too long to raise that.
Mr. Bolsey, have you no adventure in your soul? It's like a little game. We've got to wait until the darkness before the dawn. And now a warning to you, sir. The next time you think my backbone is turned to buttermilk, you better figure out a way you can whip me before you open that big mouth of yours. Mud dog! Why'd you use the crane? You have a cannon ready in 10 minutes, I'll chop you into hash.
You heard the man. Get the crane.
Why'd you learn to throw a hammer like that, Terry?
When I wasn't sailing, I used to work in the Galena boat yards.
Always work that slow?
Only when we had sissies holding.
How you doing, Chipper?
Aw, gee, Mr. Pickalong. There ain't no end to all these turnips and potatoes.
Sure there is, Chipper boy. You just ain't found it yet. Say, where's Petey and Andy Jackson?
Oh, they deserted me an hour ago. They're probably all someplace sleeping while I do all the work.
Well, complaining boy's a healthy boy, I guess. Yeah, good. Give me one of those.
Here comes the water. That's no so bad. Throw a patch on it.
Pretty good. I made this. I hope it works.
If it leaks, you've no one to blame but yourself.
Oh, it'll work, sir. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to see if the light works.
Aye. Heave to on the bellows.
All right. Give the light fellows a squeeze. Keep it steady.
That's as good as gold.
Are you ready, Jacques? Oui. Now I will lead the way. It will be a tight fit for all of us. The hatch is only for service into the hold. You can see the opening of the hold on the other side. Madame's trunk is at the other end. Let's go. I'm getting cold.
All right, let's get it up, lad.
Ah, the best thing for a Frenchman, the best thing by far, to cover the rascal's head with a jar.
It's a dirty trick. You should think along, I'll get you for this.
What's that, my singing friend? Can't hear a word you're saying. Let's go.
Sure is fun, isn't it, Mr. Carney?
Chippery, bucko. Shouldn't you be in the sack?
Oh, Mr. Carney, this is the most exciting night of my life.
Well, that it is. That it is, my lad. Here, keep a steady motion. There's probably pearls the size of eggs down there.
You're kidding.
Never. It's a little exciting, ain't it?
Must be something wrong down there.
Steady as she goes.
Get a hold of yourself, man. You're all right.
What went wrong down there, lad?
When I've been over, the water came into the helmet. Me sure pick along. Almost touched the last song. The hatch into the hole's too small to get into without bending over. Helmet's too big.
Well, that changes things around a bit.
What are we going to do if we can't use helmet?
Well, let's go have a talk with the captain. Come on. Let's go.
Helmets won't work, huh?
No, Monsieur Captain. We almost drowned.
Can you hold your breath long enough to get down there?
Oh, no. It's impossible. You got to go through a hatch.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could, No.
Hey, you know, I read about the Indians. They used to lie down in a creek or in rivers and breathe through a reed. Maybe we could just breathe through the hoses.
Might work. That's a smart lad.
Yeah, he is. Well, all right, go down and get that box.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll do it.
Right.
Yeah, don't tell me he's Scottish.
I just hope he's not English.
Can I get you anything else, Captain?
No, that'll be fine, thanks.
Well, how's your hip?
Oh, it's just fine, as long as I don't move around too much.
Sure?
Yeah, positive.
Oh, Captain, when do we get into New Orleans? I mean, day or night?
Well, if the boys get your chest out tonight, we ought to leave about dawn Takes 24 hours, rest we get through to New Orleans. I'd say we ought to be there about, early in the morning, day after tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't know we'd get there so early. What I mean is, no girl wants her fiancé to see her looking like this.
Well, I don't see why not. I think you look charming. Kind of anxious to see him, aren't you?
Yes.
Even dressed the way you are?
Yes, I am.
By the way, who is he? Do I know him?
Oh, I don't know if you've met him or not.
What's his name?
Oh, James Kincannon. Kincannon Import and Export Company.
James Kincannon.
Have you met him?
No, I can't connect a face with the name.
Oh, he's very handsome. I'm sure if you'd met him, you wouldn't forget him.
I'm sure I wouldn't at that.
Oh, of course, I look at him differently from the way you would. Well, if there's nothing I can get you, Captain, I think I'll try to get some sleep.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Pick any cabin. They're all made up.
Thank you.
Good night, Louise. Get a good night's sleep.
Good night.
James Kincannon. Jim Kincannon? James.
All right, lad.
Well, let's try this thing.
All right, start your bellows.
It works. Works. You keep your throat closed with your tongue and let the air push the water out of the sides of your mouth.
I think we are ready.
Steady now. Steady motion.
Felt so helpless in my life.
We have no way of knowing if anything went wrong down there.
Keep it moving. They haven't got gills, you know.
Good job, lad. Good job.
Was it bad down there?
Oh, it was nothing. Could have stayed down there all night.
Enough of that bragging, lad. Let's get that chest to the boat. Come on.
Take that to the cargo hold.
Jacques, are you all right?
Oh, certainly, madame. But Jacques Germain says his mind to do something. The madame should go to her cabin out of the night dampness.
It's a good job.
Mr. Johnson! Them pirates are still sitting out there in the cove, waiting to see if we're going to pull the ship up. And they got a big cannon mounted on the bow.
Oh, they have they?
Mr. Carney, get your steam up. We're pulling it.
My steam is up, Mr. McGregor. I've got one more little idea to help them barge boys. We'll be pulling out quick. Terry!
They ain't having much luck out there.
Maybe we ought to throw a few fireballs to our larboard. That might speed them up a bit.
Sometimes your stupidity astounds me. They also have a cannon. When we fire, we'll fire for effect. That'll be in 15 minutes.
Mr. Carney, where do you think you're going?
We'll be with you in a second, mate.
Mr. Carney, come back on board. That's an order.
Just another little minute, Mr. Joshua. Here, secure the line. Careful. We got a little surprise for them pirate boys.
Mr. Savage! The riverboat's pulling out. They couldn't get the schooner up.
Every man shall let another man do his own job. To yours, men. Signal Mr. English will out the cable.
We're just about to the cove.
Mr. Carney, stop your engines. Get on the passenger deck.
Let's go tell everybody the pirates just about reached the wreck.
This ought to be better than the 4th of July.
Show them your teeth, old girl. Give them something they'll never forget. A little slack.
Slack off. Slack off. Easy.
All right, Mr. Savage, easy.
All right, pull her up. Heave! Heave!
Looks like they got the hook in their side. You'll never move another channel like that'll hurt you.
Well, that's that, boys. Let's get this boat to New Orleans. Come on, now. There it is. The Bay of New Orleans. We'll be at dock in a couple of hours. Just because the captain gave you the run of the boat doesn't mean you're not supposed to sleep sometime.
Mr. McGregor, who can sleep on a night like this? Look over there. Isn't that the most exciting sight you ever saw? The lights in New Orleans.
Sounds to me like you've got what we used to call channel fever in the old country.
Channel fever?
Aye. It's a funny little feeling you get inside when you know you're just a couple hours from home.
Yes. But the only place I feel at home is on a boat.
What time you turn in? 4 o'clock?
Good night, sir.
Good night.
We can go now. I've got the dinghy in the water alongside. It's 4 o'clock and we're in the bay.
That isn't fair, Jacques. The captain and his friends worked too hard.
Oh, Cherie, I'm a fair man. I only took our share and left the rest for them.
Oh, Jacques, I love you.
Hurry now.
We can leave this boat anytime we feel like it.
Oh, all right. That's enough of that. And you, miss, up on the boat.
You have no right to hold us. We haven't done anything wrong. Those are my pearls, and we can leave anytime we want to.
Now, you can do your complaining to the captain. Come on, miss.
Come on, Jerry, lend a hand.
Yes.
Well, now, we
you'd be trying to get off the boat before hitting New Orleans. That's why I had the boys keep an eye on you. Now then, how about telling me the truth, huh? Who are those pearls really being shipped to?
Those are my pearls and my dowry, and I can do just as I wish.
You're lying in your teeth, honey.
You can't prove a word of it. I haven't committed any crime.
Technically, you've committed a robbery. I salvaged those pearls. They belong to me.
I beg your pardon, Captain, but I helped salvage the chest, and I'm entitled to half in any court of law.
No, you don't, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, all I'm interested in is finding out why you wanted to leave the boat.
I wanted to go ashore to get some clothes and a surrey so I could meet Mr. Kincannon in fine style, and I knew you wouldn't let us leave.
All right, lock him up in a cabin somewhere, will you? We'll settle this when we hit New Orleans. Let's kind of go get Jock and the girl. I'll let you know when I want them.
Aye, sir.
Well, we'll get this thing settled once and for all, Mr. Kincannon. Now, would you mind going into the pilot's cabin for a moment?
Not at all, sir.
Thank you. Show him the way, will you, Josh?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Carney.
In you go.
Well, Louise, where did you get the name James Kincannon from?
What?
The name James Kincannon, did you get it from the side of the chest of pearls?
No. James Kincannon is the man I'm going to marry.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Oh. Joshua, in that case, you'd better meet your fiancé. Mr. James Kincannon, may I introduce you to your betrothed, Miss Louise Harrison.
How do you do?
Well, what do you got to say for yourself now, Miss Harrison? Think you better tell me the truth?
All right. I'll tell you. I was a passenger on board a schooner coming from the East Indies. I met Jock on board and we fell in love. And when the schooner hit the reef, Jacques told me about the pearls belonging to Mr. Kincannon. And while we were in the water, we made up the story. And, you know the rest.
In other words, you're about to give yourselves a little wedding present.
Captain Holden, under the law, we are entitled to half as at salvage.
Under the law, young man, I'll see that you get 10 years for attempting to steal my pearls. I will not tolerate such a flagrant action of thievery.
Well, now, Mr. Kincannon, you think they're pretty bad criminals, huh?
I certainly do. The morals of the young today are appalling, and these two lead the pack of them.
Come on now, Mr. Kincannon. You mean to tell me you never slipped a fast one through? That you earned your fortune completely honestly?
I certainly did.
Come on, Kincannon. Don't kid an old river rat like me. I'll bet you've broken more companies who were in competition with you than all the catfish in the Mississippi.
That was not stealing. That was good business.
Oh, good business, huh? Well, in that case, then, I think you owe these two people some money. Because if they hadn't been alive when I got there, and if they hadn't told me about the pearls, you'll never see them again. Now, I think it's good business to pay for recovered property, now don't you?
But that thief has no right to salvage.
Yes, but I do, Kincannon, I do. You see, I rescued these two people, and it was my boat that made the salvage, and it was my equipment that was used, and the only arrangement made was with Miss Harrison here.
You can't do this to me. I'll take you to court.
You know the law as well as I do. I salvaged that wreck, and I own it.
How much?
For them, $1,000.
Not a cent over 500.
1,000.
Accepted. My pearls, please.
Now, there's a small matter of the enterprise and our interest in this.
How much?
10,000.
5,000.
11,000.
7,500.
12,000.
10,000.
Now, how did you arrive at a figure like that?
I'll have a draft drawn on my bank and return in an hour. But remember this, the enterprise will never do any business with Kincannon and Company.
Until you need us again.
Good day, sir.
Good day.
There goes a good Scotsman.
Kincannon is an Irish name.
Thank you, Mr. Captain, for acting on our behalf. Even though I would have gone to court to protect our share.
And you would have lost.
Lost, but how? I helped salvage it.
Maritime law states that a crewman is entitled to his pay for as long as he's away from his home port, even if he's wrecked on a desert island for 10 years.
I do not quite understand.
On or off the wreck, you were still working for the company that hired you, and Kincannon, in effect, was hiring your company.
But you, Mr. Captain, you had half anyway. Why did you settle for a fourth?
Well, you see, I would have had to pay an attorney at least $10,000 to take Kincannon to court. This way I get my money, and I only have to wait a little more than an hour for it. All right, now you two go on in that pilot's cabin there, and you wait for him. Stay out of sight till Kincannon comes back with that check, you hear?
Yes, Captain.
And thank you.
All right, you river rats, the captain's free now. Come on in.
Well, just what is this convention? What do you boys want?
Well, Captain, it was mighty cold out in that water. As a matter of fact, some of the men haven't thawed out yet.
Yeah, it's true. The Gulf does get mighty cold.
And we ain't had a time in New Orleans for a while, sir.
Oh, I see. You need a little relaxation, huh?
Well, the main reason we ain't had it is, well, you know how it is. We've all been broke. Flat.
And seeing as how you arranged for us all to have a share in the salvage.
Well, we'd like our money and go ashore now.
Well, now, wait a minute, boys. Kincannon hasn't even given me the check yet.
Oh, Skipper, we know you got money locked in the safe.
Well, yeah, that's true. But can't you wait an hour to get out and spend all your money?
Oh, we'll be plumb frizzed to death by then, sir.
The men do work up quite a thirst, Captain.
Well, boys, I'd certainly like to help you out, but, well, I can't get off this bunk to get over and open up the safe. It's locked.
I wouldn't worry about that, Captain. Hasn't been a lock built that I can't take care of. I'll open the safe.
And just how will you open the safe?
Oh, man learns a lot of things as he goes through life, Captain.
Just what kind of a thieving crew have I got here?
Whatever kind of crew it is, Captain, what can you say? You picked it.